Hello, everybody. We have a packed house here. We had no idea what to expect. Welcome to the third annual Polymer Summit. Woo!
Lengthy process to bring up a site, to now only taking about 1.5 weeks of content only. That means no development effort. So component type thinking is really just how we operate across all functions now. We don't design and build pages anymore. We are always looking to decompose and then compose with component-based building blocks. And as a bonus, to the delight of our digital intelligence team, we have been very consistent and complete analytics tracking across all of our components, allowing us to compare apples to apples between different sites. And of course, efficiency and economy of scale. We've reduced duplication. We have better engineering mobility between projects and teams. And with a predictable, proven, and streamlined system, we have much, much lower project risk and a far more dependable schedule. So going back to this original goal of living in a world of making our commodity web turnkey, low effort, and maintainable, how have we done? I would say a resounding success thanks to web components and Polymer. Thank you very much.
All right, it is time for our first break. We're running a little bit late, which is Polymer Summit tradition. So there is coffee and tea and light snacks available over in the catering area, and we'll start up again at 11:35. I got some music to play me on this time.
sit behind a CDN and get really good serving efficiency. OK, so with Purple Node Server, we kind of fill in the last big gap in our story about how we're actually going to deliver these awesome experiences using the platform. And hopefully you feel more confident now that you have all the tools you need to build robust real-world apps like this real estate app, right? And at the beginning, I said we had like 2 weeks, right? That was our setup. We had 2 weeks to build this. So to be honest, I didn't have a whole lot of time to kind of put this talk together, but I really wanted to build an app. And I actually was able to build this out in 2 days, this much. It's a proof of concept. I still need to do a little more work to get the demo ready. But of that 2 days, like a full half of it, like a whole day, was just generating a bunch of fake real estate JSON so that I didn't get sued by people by showing their house in my talk. So hopefully, from this proof of concept, I feel that I'm way more confident now that I've got a really well-factored UI with components that I can reuse across other applications. I've got easy-to-debug state management that'll scale well to adding more routes, adding more features. I know I'm going to be set up well for performance. I've got a structure that scales well for performance with the Purple 50 pattern. And I've got a great serving environment with Purple Server Node. So hopefully you feel like you can be this productive with the web platform too. So we're going to continue working to take all of these kind of best practices that we come across as we kind of tackle more and more challenges on the web platform and provide guidance and provide features and provide products to help move this along. Thank you very much.
All right, so it's lunchtime, but I just want to do a couple quick announcements first. So food will be over across the way. There's a station over there for kosher and halal meals. If you can't find them, just ask any staff member. At the same time, in about 15 minutes in the Code Lab space, we're going to start a casual Q&A session about the modules change. You can bring your lunch in there and ask questions in there. Steve and Kevin will be talking about Game of Thrones and everything they just talked about over in the Ask Polymer Lounge. And there's also a Polymer quick start or quick tour area over there where you can preview sort of our new Getting Started guide and give us feedback and help us really hone that. So we'll be back here at 1:30.
Hey, everybody. Matt again. Just got a lot shorter this time around. Kidding. No. Hi, I'm Elliot. I am a software engineer on the Polymer team. Welcome again to the Polymer.
Well, we're really not sure how to build this thing out very well, so let's give that to our artists, because they're going to be able to come up with an interesting solution for this. If you've got an element that's really complicated and you need someone who's going to really put a lot of tests behind it, and get that one to the scientist. And then if you've got an element that you know exactly how you want to build it, but you just need it to be built on time and get it out at the right moment, give that to your craftsman. And then the great thing is you can always come back and have the other style do the refactoring later. And so the scientist can come in and clean up the artist's code and add some more tests. Or the artist could come in and say, oh, craftsman, you could have built this a little bit better. And so if you get that kind of interaction, it's great. So we hope this glimpse into how we build things will help you build great things with Polymer as well. Thanks for having us here, and have a great rest of the conference.
All right. So howdy, everybody. So before we go out for break, I have just a few announcements. So in 10 minutes, the Code Lab's going to start with Valdrin Koshi. He has a really interesting Code Lab about animations, making them performant. Light snacks and coffee are right across. And if there's anybody that you heard earlier today and you have any questions for them, they should be hanging out in the Ask Polymer Lounge. And we will be back at 4 p.m. with Monica, Rob Dodson, and some more Webpack and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Have a great break.
Hello, Polymer.
Every browser and every developer. And I think the way we're going to really do this is to start thinking more about visual tools. It's not all about your CLIs and your Webpacks and your gulps and your whatever other tools you use. Sometimes assembling is really visual, and we haven't been really good at building visual tools for visual people. So I hope that this at least proves that there's a value to do this, that it's kind of exciting to build this and to use this, and it takes it a little bit closer, because we're now a little bit closer to just assembling more things and crafting less. Thank you.
Awesome job. So, happy end of day one, Polymer. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks to our live stream attendees for joining us. Got a full day tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. I got some announcements for our in-person attendees now. Just bullet list was getting longer and longer. I memorized the points until there were 20 of them. Okay, so we've got a party going on in a little bit, so stick around. We have a fun after party with dinner, drinks, and a DJ. There are both non-alcoholic drinks and alcoholic drinks. Drink responsibly. And don't forget the community guidelines that are posted around the venue. On a similar note, before you get started on the party, have a plan for how you're getting home or wherever. If you need help figuring out how to get a taxi, you can talk to any of the staff members. They're wearing the pink shirts, and they'll help you with that stuff. Let's see, Coat Check will be open until the end of the night. Tomorrow morning, we've got breakfast starting at 8 a.m. There's also, starting at 9 a.m., you may attend the Polymer Women's Breakfast, and that'll feature a panel discussion with Wendy Ginsberg, Mariko Kosaka, and Monica Dinkulescu. Sessions tomorrow start at 10 a.m. sharp. And finally, anyone that attended the Code Labs, some of you may have noticed that we might be rate limited on the GitHub API with all those Polymer init calls. I think that has to do with our IP locality. If you are encountering that issue, you can go to the Polymer elements. So let me just read this verbatim instead of paraphrasing. If you are running into this issue when running Polymer init, you can instead just press the download zip button in the Polymer Starter Kit repository from the Polymer Elements org. Okay, thank you so much. See you at the party. Bye!
We want everyone to have the best experience possible at this year's Polymer Summit. This is an inclusive community. No matter your experience or background, you're welcome here. We encourage you to be excellent to each other by saying hi to new faces, building on one another's ideas, and reporting any uncomfortable experiences. We have a zero-tolerance policy for harassment of any kind. This policy is posted on. Let's make this the best developer event ever by creating an excellent experience at this year's Polymer Summit. Thanks.
Hello, and welcome to day 2 of our Polymer Summit. So we've got a bunch of
believed in back when we started the parkour project, but in a context that we just didn't see coming. Web components, it turned out, were the answer to a problem we didn't know to ask. When Darren and Alex and Matt and the rest of us all bet on this effort back in 2010 and 2011, ES6 and web components were sort of something we just were going to figure out, something that we kind of knew were going to be important, but we didn't understand why. But we got lucky again. When we started ripping elements out of Gmail, we didn't know that it was going to make anything faster. Turned out it did. When we started upgrading the platform, we knew it would make it nicer to use, but we didn't know how much faster it could make things. But now we know. We're in a special moment right now. Smartphones are opening up computing to people who've never had access to them before. And the web, I believe, can be the single best way to deliver experiences to those users if we don't drown it in JavaScript. Web's evolution is freeing us up to attack new and harder problems further up the stack. That's great news for us as developers, but it's mostly great news for our users if we use the platform. Thanks for having me, and thanks for making your sites fast and small.
Thank you, Alex. All right, so we're ready for our morning break. I just have a couple quick announcements. So there will be food and refreshments across the way. Just a reminder, there's the Ask Polymer Lounge where you can get your questions answered. That is staffed right now. And we'll be back here at 11:30. All right, welcome back. Just have one quick announcement. We're going to be doing a panel later on. This is everyone's favorite chance to put us on the spot.
PWAs right now. So please, we encourage you to take a look, and we're really proud of what we have so far.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So some of you may have noticed it took us a little while this summer to get the schedule out for this. One of the last pieces on the last day we were trying to get it up, we were like, we asked the Ionic guys if they wanted to do a presentation at Polymer Summit, and they got really excited about it, and Dion had sent them an email, and we were asking for the abstract and bios and all that so we can put it up. And it finally and Dion sent an introduction email with us and them, and we were talking to them, and they kept tweeting about it, that they were very, very excited, but then we weren't hearing back about bios and the abstract. So finally we put together on the very last day, we had the email, Dion had the email wrong. So the entire time we weren't actually communicating, and apparently ionic.com is some other thing, and they weren't even replying to us. So luckily we got all that figured out at the very last second. So it's lunchtime, just a few announcements. Just like yesterday, halal and kosher meals are available at a station over there. If you can't find them, ask a staff member. There's a code lab starting in 15 minutes. It's a really cool one. It's purple with Firebase and custom elements with Keanu in the code lab area. And we'll be back here at 1:30 or 13:30 if you're not a silly American like me. See you in a little bit.
Hey, everybody. Let's see. Our next set of talks.
With files, but they're things that might bite you as you go along. And secondly, modules play nice with NPM modules via rollup, but we obviously recommend Yarn for the flat package approach. And I'll leave you with some further reading. My colleague Jake, who managed to avoid giving a talk, is hiding somewhere, and you can go grab him or myself after the talk and find out more about modules. And that's it.
Thank you, Sam. All right, guys, we made it to the break. We've got about half an hour before our next big event, which you are not going to want to miss. So please go fill yourselves with caffeine and carbohydrates. Get that in your bloodstream, and come back here for 4 o'clock for Supercharged Live, Live, Live. Also, tweet to #AskPolymer with any questions. Cheers.
How's it going? So, starting my comedy bit. So.
Thank you very much. So we have 2 different events we need to tell you about in just 2 weeks. On the 5th and 6th of September in Krakow, there's a Google Developer Days. Look that up on your favorite search engine. Hopefully it's Google. Tickets are still available. And then starting exactly 2 months from today, on October 23rd and 24th, we're going to have the 5th Annual Chrome Dev Summit. We'll be there. It's back home in San Francisco. Tickets are available on August 30th. You're the first to hear that. So definitely show up and see us there. We'll be there. We'll be doing some talks, and a lot of the other people, including our Polymer Home, Google Home, will be there as well in person. So just 2 last things. One is the survey that you got in your email just a few minutes ago is really, really important to us. We take it incredibly seriously, hence the wider chairs, hence the more bathrooms, but even the content. I actually personally read every single response we get, and so do a number of other people. So it's really important. If you can fill that out, that's great for us. It helps us improve these events going forward. And then the last is one of the other odd traditions we have. The very first Polymer Summit, we ended up giving away a lot of the bean bags and pillows and everything else, and people started tweeting them going home. And someone tweeted a picture of a Polymer Summit bean bag going around like a luggage carousel at an airport. So we give these away each time. If you want a pillow or anything, I think there's only a couple bean bags left already because people have already figured this out. They're at the swag table. And that's it. Thank you very much. Hope to see you next time.